everybody. Small Business Social, the podcast where we celebrate makers, dreamers, and doers building big things in their communities. I'm Kara Vargas,
And I'm Steve Seymour.
and we're here to shine a light on small business owners and experts who inspire us all. This episode is brought to you by Seymour Media, helping small businesses thrive with commercial photography and video, and the Bristol Bazaar, your go-to spot for the perfect gift. And today we are sitting with Amy Crose, who is the owner of Mandala Minds Wellness.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so excited to have you.
Thank you.
I love all your bright colors. You're wearing bright colors. It's great in the middle of winter to be bringing all of the brightness. So for all of our listeners and for people who are watching, could you introduce yourself and tell people a little bit more about what you do?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Amy, and I started a business in 2024 called Mandala Minds Wellness, as you mentioned. I am by career a nurse, and I've been a nurse for 30 years. I've done primarily OB and labor and delivery and hospice nursing. The bulk of my career was in OB and labor and delivery. So I like birth and I like death. And there's many reasons for that, but I will say that the healthcare system has become progressively more difficult for me to work in. One is because I have a hearing deficit, and two is because I just felt more and more misaligned with the process. I felt like the patients couldn't receive the care that they deserve, and I couldn't deliver the care that I wanted to give with the current model. So I was really looking to do something else, and have transitioned in this direction for probably about 5-10 years. Yeah, so I've done a couple of holistic nursing certifications. One is through the University of Connecticut grad program. And then I did another certification through the Nurse Coach Collective, and learned how to be a life coach, but from a nursing perspective.
That's so interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to dive into that too. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I really, one of the things in the healthcare system that's always frustrated me is that people sort of get fragmented when they enter the healthcare system. So they become, the person with a heart attack, the person with the knee replacement, or even in pregnancy, it's the grand multip who's had many babies, and it doesn't sit well with me. I feel like, the whole person is what we really should be looking at. And so the holistic nursing sort of encompasses that mind, body, spirit, and looking at the whole picture, not just the one problem at hand. And so this business is really focused around that.
I love that.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see that there's more to just that one thing that they're going through. It's a bigger thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of confounding factors. There's usually one, you can't really pull them apart,
You can.
So so the business is, I'm really, really particularly interested in mental health. And I have a long history of depression that goes back to my teenage years. And so when I did the nurse coaching certification, I wasn't quite as interested in people with diabetes or blood pressure issues or, weight management. I was really interested in the mental health component. And as we were just saying, like, your mental health really impacts your physical and spiritual health, and vice versa. They're all so intertwined. So my focus is really on well-being and mental health. And I use mandalas to help people sort of feel better. And my branding is Calm, Center, and Create. And that's because working with mandalas really helps you calm your nervous system. And then
I need that.
we all need that. And then it helps you really center yourself. So you really feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more in your body, a little bit more centered in just in general. And then when you create something, you absolutely start to see that you can create beauty, even if you don't think you can, that there's hope and possibilities. And that's really what they did did for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to tell you a little bit about how I
No,
got
absolutely.
into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So like I said, I have a pretty long history of depression, and in 2020, right before COVID hit, I was dating somebody who passed away suddenly, and it put me into my last depressive episode that I've actually had. And this time I refused to go into the hospital. I didn't want to be, sort of seen as the person in that room with depression, and no longer a mom and a sister and a daughter and a nurse and all of those things. You really kind of get pocketed into the mentally ill. At least that's how it was for me. So I decided that I was going to do everything I could to stay out of the hospital. And one of the things I did was ketamine treatment, which was really helpful. And then, but I also started drawing mandalas. I was painting them on little rocks, and then COVID happened. So I was a nurse and I was quarantined.
They gave you plenty of time.
Exactly.
Right.
So I would go to work and come home and I would just paint, and taught myself how to dot paint. And it was really therapeutic for me. And I didn't really understand what was happening until I went into the grad program for holistic nursing. And my focus during that curriculum was studying mandalas. And I learned that they are so therapeutic, have been used across many cultures over many centuries. And Carl Jung actually used them for his own healing from post-traumatic stress, and he used it with his patients. So I didn't know any of that when I was doing it. So I just sort of innately gravitated towards this therapeutic process. And then I've done probably over 400 of them.
Wow.
You know what's
Now-
weird? When she came in, she told me her spiel or whatever, not just as a little, I didn't want to talk about it too much, but she said, this is therapeutic. So I'm looking at her stuff and I was getting stressed out looking at it because it's so intricate, right?
It is.
But then she showed me a video of her doing it and I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. Now you can
Right.
see her taking her time and just like zoning out and being in the moment. But looking at it, I was like, I would be, because I have anxiety really bad. So I'm looking at it, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, man, that's a lot of work. That's what I saw was a lot
Right.
of work. But like I said, I saw her video and then that just brought a whole new light to it. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Sure.
oh, okay, I could see this. It's like doing a puzzle or, whatever. something
Right.
like
Once
that.
you catch a groove, I feel like, and once you know what you're doing and what you're I mean, I can't wait to show everybody all the different things that you brought in. Just looking
know.
at the spread right now, they're so beautiful and they're so vibrant and they're so unique and special. I love it. This is why
too.
we do what we do. We get to meet amazing people that are
Yeah.
so talented and do these things. Okay, so
Do you
I
have
know
any
were-
kind of art background? I didn't mean to cut
No,
you off.
that's cool.
Do you have any kind of art background?
Oh my god, that's
like,
amazing.
Like even your color schemes.
Right.
They make sense.
So I will admit that I am the daughter of an engineer, and I'm the only person in my family
Oh,
who's
I'm
not.
the father of an engineer.
So I'm the only person in my house that didn't actually practice in that sort of arena of engineering,
Nerds.
aside from my mom. But
Wow.
so I am quite left-brained, and so the symmetry really appeals to me, and I love drawing like
Yeah.
geometric shapes. I hated geometry in high school, but this works for me, and
Yeah.
it's so simple. And we start off with just like a grid, and just by placing your dots on a certain space on the grid, then doing it all the way around the circle, this is how the patterning comes out.
Wow.
So although for some people this is too much to look at them, right? But a lot of times, if you're actually doing it, it really organizes a chaotic brain.
Right. That's why I was like, I was like,
Yeah.
that's pretty tough looking, really intricate. But then you showed me the short video. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like those ASMR.
Right.
You keep watching and watching. You just can't stop watching. That's what I felt when I saw that
Yeah.
video.
That's
The
amazing.
symmetry of it. So you can't, so the mindfulness comes in because you really can't help but become present and mindful. And that's why I lose all sense of time and space, because I say this in all my classes, the left side of your brain gets really involved with the symmetry and the repetitive hand motion. And then the right side of your brain gets really engaged with the creative piece and the color piece. So by engaging both parts of your brain, you're like, you're in it.
Yeah.
And that's why I can paint for hours, and I have to set an alarm when I sit down to paint because I will lose all track
Yeah.
of time. I mean, when I was doing this as a nurse in the evenings, it would be like 2 a.m. and I'd be like, holy cow.
Really?
Yeah,
You
I
don't
gotta
wanna
go to
just
bed.
Kick off your shoes and go to sleep? No?
Yeah, no, I would just I'd be so into it. I'd be like, oh my God, I need to go
Yeah.
to bed.
Well, it's like you're
and
excited. when you get
Naturally, are
home.
you a wound up person?
I tend to be more on the depressed, hopeless
Okay,
space.
I see.
And so this actually gives me a little bit of it's weird. It's like a purpose and a
Yeah.
hope because I'm creating something. It's like when you realize you can create things, you start to, make the parallel in your life. If I can do this, then I can do something else. But for the anxiety piece, like it really does. It takes all those thoughts out of your brain, or it can even help you just sort of process them.
Well, the thing is, when I went through some depression, and when I went through it, I didn't want to do anything. I had no desire to do anything. I didn't want to do anything. And I thought, I was thinking to myself, I said, I should be doing something to get my mind off of this or out of this rut, but I couldn't do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, I have so many hobbies, but I didn't even want to do those.
Yeah, and that is typical.
What
with
brought you
depression,
over the
right?
threshold?
Yeah, I think there's just something really soothing and calming about it, and to be honest with you, I sort of crave doing this.
Yeah.
It makes me feel better and good. And I've had I created a Facebook page or a group where people can share their creations. So a lot of people will take my classes and then start doing this at home.
What's the name of your Facebook page?
It's
so they can look it
Mandala
up?
Minds Creative Connections, and I didn't even realize how many people were doing this at home on their own, and then people started sharing it, and there's a couple people that have been like, I feel like I'm addicted to this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's not
gotta
think of
try
this
it.
as an addiction. This is
Right.
not an addiction. This is something that you're craving, that sense of peace, just that calm that we all crave, to let the noise and the overwhelm go
And be in the moment.
and just be in the moment. So I don't really think of it as an addiction so much as you're just craving that. Once you get that sense, you're like, oh, I
love that.
I need to feel this more. And so you want to do it. And there's so many life lessons that I can relate to mandala painting. So I could probably talk to you for hours.
No,
and hours and hours.
why don't you
cool.
pick up some of your stuff and show
Yeah.
the camera right there?
Okay, so these are just jars and journals and printed cards of paintings
You
that
can
I've
hold them
done.
up. Yeah, you hold them
Okay.
up. There you go.
Yeah.
And
Wow, that's beautiful.
these are just little tiny versions, and they're so quick and easy to do. I needed to create merchandise to bring places, to vending events, because not everyone wants to buy paintings.
Right.
So, and this is actually my logo.
It's beautiful.
But I needed to create some merchandise, and although my business isn't really about merchandise, it's more it's just nice to have things to give to people or to share with people.
And it's more personalized too.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I do commission paintings. I have lots of people that will contact me and be like, "Can you?" I just had someone recently ask me, who's going through cancer, ask me to, or a friend of hers asked me to paint a painting for her, and then I just try to intuit the colors that I know that go with it, go with a certain emotion.
Yeah, see, if someone gave me a card like that or something, usually I just throw them out. I wouldn't throw those out.
No, they're beautiful.
No,
they could
honestly,
be framed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna
You
say.
know?
Yeah, you can actually frame those and make it a whole other piece of art. Just putting
you
those together.
Absolutely could.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And those are journals, right?
Yeah.
Now,
these,
what are in the
these are just
canisters?
little stash jars, so you can
Oh.
put all kinds of stuff in it. I will admit, I did start these because I was going to a cannabis festival.
Yep.
And although I don't smoke, I was trying to think of people, what would people want at a cannabis festival? They're not going to want to buy paintings. So a friend of mine was
They
like,
might want to paint, but they don't want things.
exactly. But they're like, why don't you do like a stash jar? And I was
Yeah.
like, great. But these are I didn't want to do something that was particular to cannabis users. People can put like paper clips and things in it, or little candies,
trinkets
or
and
stick your
stuff.
Altoids over there
Yeah.
and stuff.
See,
Yeah.
there
You
you
got
go.
fancy
Wherever you're
Altoids.
at, you can just market it to that.
Yeah.
Just look around the room. Yeah, you can put your Altoids in there. Yeah. Oh, you can put your weed in this one. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
exactly.
those are beautiful though. They're
Thank
very
you.
They really
very
are.
attractive. Yep.
Thank you.
It's so cool. I love that you hit on this whole being present thing. I kind of want to dive into that for a sec, only because Eric and my husband and I were just talking about this last week. I had an afternoon to myself, which is very rare.
You did?
I did. I did not. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to do whatever," and I was like, "Okay." So I got on my walking pad. I did that, and then I kind of just sat, and I realized how chaotic things had really gotten for me personally, just between all the things that are going on all the time in life. And I sat down, and my way of like de-stressing and figuring things out is like writing everything out and scheduling things and reorganizing. And so I was able to find different ways to have more time to myself and find what would bring me joy. Because I found like I was in this rut. I wouldn't say it was something like a depression or anything like that, but I was in this, this constant cycle of, okay, we go to work, we go home, we veg out, we watch TV, we go to sleep. Like that became life during the holiday season.
A cycle, yeah.
Yeah, a cycle.
Yeah.
And so now as soon as I exercise, I did a little bit of like body weight work or whatever at home in my living room. Nothing crazy, but the amount of energy that came back into me after that hour of between my walking pad and lifting weights, I was like, that's it. Like, this is what I'm missing, because all I'm doing is working and watching TV and sleeping.
Oh, so basically, you're saying break it up a little bit. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I would say.
Well,
so.
we all need moments of stillness in
Yes.
order to sort of recharge and rejuvenate. And you feel like you're wasting time, but you're actually nourishing yourself so that you can be more productive. And like the Buddhists they love.
They're the masters at it.
This is the thing.
Can't get any
like,
worse than, not
to
worse, better
find-
than that.
to find that moment of stillness and to just sit. And it's so difficult in this society in this day and age. We're
Yeah.
always so busy.
Well, there's times where I just put my AirPods in and I noise cancel so I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
So is it
And I
silence?
would just silence.
Oh man.
I know
I would
it's
lose my
weird.
marbles.
No, it took me a couple times, but
Yeah.
after a while, you're just like, you don't think about. I tried to like get everything out of my mind and just sit in the quiet. Don't even have the TV on either, and it's really, really, really weird.
Yeah.
When you first do it the first time, you're like, it's just like
It just
see,
is.
see that quick
Yeah.
silent that I just didn't there. It's like
It's like I
that's
want to fill
weird.
it.
Yeah, exactly. You want to fill it.
Yeah.
It's like a void.
So
yeah.
it is a meditative practice for sure. But I certainly could be doing more meditation as well. I mean, that is,
Yeah.
it's really helpful.
I think
really
it's helpful for everybody. Like our show really caters to small business owners and entrepreneurs who obviously would truly benefit from this, but for anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be my mother-in-law, it could be your best friend, it could be anybody that's listening that could truly just take, whatever it is, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and sit in that quiet.
Yeah.
It's so hard though.
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah. It's hard. I've tried to meditate. I'm a bad meditator.
Yeah, me too.
And I will sit and I'll be like, okay, I'm good for the first 60 seconds of nothingness. And then I start making lists
Yeah.
of things that I should be doing or could be doing, or how do I do them differently? And so then that's when I start to write. So I do like the first 60 seconds of like nothing. And then my brain kind of dumps, if that makes sense.
Well, I would imagine that just by having those 60 seconds of stillness, it's allowing that inspiration and those thoughts to come through, and then you can write them. But actually, you saying you're bad at meditating, like that's like that's the whole thing, right? We should never be judging ourselves in those moments. We should be. Here's the should thing, right? But the whole idea is to just allow it to be what it is and just keep coming back to your breath. And I love this because I just naturally go into sort of that state of
so cool.
Of just being still and just and no judgment.
Right.
Like
right.
that's the other thing.
So when you're going through your process, are you completing one piece in a session, or is it multiple sessions? Because are there layers? Tell us more about that actual process.
So me personally, or in my group classes?
Ooh.
Yes.
So me personally, I always talk about this in my classes too. I will just have sort of a idea. I may even think I'm going to use these colors. And then I just sit down and I just kind of let it flow.
Wow.
And I pick a color one dot at a time, one choice at a time. And I love this analogy because if anyone were to tell me when I was 20 years old that I would be where I am today, I would never imagine that to be true. I thought my life was going to go in a totally different direction. But my life evolved from a series of choices, right? And the same thing happens with the mandalas. Like, you don't know how they're going to come out. They never come out how you think they're going to come out. It's literally one dot, one choice at a time, and then it leads to another choice, which leads to another choice. And then before you know it, you've created this whole piece that is uniquely you, and you never intended it to happen. It's really neat.
That is.
Yeah.
That's
it's
so
a neat process.
special.
So in my group classes, that's how it works as well. You know, my introductory classes, I will literally tell people which tools to use and where to put their dots. And in the beginning, because they want that hand holding, unless their children don't necessarily want that.
Right.
It's a completely different ballgame when it's children. But for adults, a lot of them want that hand holding, and then they get to a point where they're like, oh, let's just see what happens. And they start just flowing and creating on their own. And it's the coolest thing to see.
It's like a breakthrough for them.
Yeah.
basically.
Whereas children don't have the same inhibitions, and they just want to go.
Yeah,
And they
exactly.
just want it to flow.
They're playing
And they don't want to
hangman,
follow.
or-
Yeah, they don't want to follow the instructions. So with them, I have to be a little bit more instructional and be like, look, you just have to follow my instruction for the first 5 rows.
Okay.
And then you can
Yeah,
do
you
whatever
break it down
want.
for them
Right.
basically into segments. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to segmentize for the kids, basically.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
their
and
attention
sort
span
of.
going.
Otherwise, what will happen is they'll just take their tools and they'll just start dotting.
It's chaos.
Yeah, but they come up with some really, really cool stuff too, and it's incredible with children because they get into it, right? So now they're being mindful. They're
Right.
not
What
looking
age
at.
groups are we looking at?
So anybody who can really sit still for a couple of hours. So
Oh,
that
you're
could
out.
be.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Maybe
But,
Eric, though.
But I'd say like anywhere from 7 to
Oh, okay.
7 on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
that is really neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my
What else you
gosh.
got there over there? Anything? What's that flyer there? You
Well,
got?
I just wanted to show the flyer because you'll be able to see it. This is the only way I could do this. Is these are all first-time mandala painters.
Oh, cool.
So these people have never done it before.
So these are the people that are in your class?
Yeah, these are just pictures of some of my classes, and most people come in and say, "I have no artistic ability. I'm not going to be able to do this." Oh, yeah,
That's
right.
not what art's all about, though.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's so simple and easy to follow that most people come out sort of feeling empowered, like, oh my God, I totally made something pretty, and I did this, and it's really great to watch the transformation from when people walk in the door to when they leave. They walk in,
completed
they're a little
something they've-
anxious,
yeah.
hesitant, I don't know, and then by the time they leave, they're like giant.
They're more
smiles.
like whole because they
That
actually
is, and that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one thing I didn't mention is mandala just means circle in
Circle, right.
Sanskrit. So, so that's really to simplify
You
it.
taught me that before the show.
I did. I did. So it's to simplify the term, but the circles are so representative so much in our lives, right? It's sort of a container for all that's within it. There's a center point. There's no beginning. There's no end. And so much of the world is made up of mandalas, right? The cosmos our cellular biology is made up of little mandalas. The fruit, flowers, everywhere. They're everywhere.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking at life a little differently today.
Right? Yeah, we're all going to leave here a little bit more whole, I think, than when we came in.
Wonderful.
So when
relaxed.
people are done with your classes, do you have an option where they can reach back out to you to do maybe like, do you provide a kit or anything like that that they could purchase from you and bring home? Or do you do anything remotely kind of as an option?
Yeah. So remotely, Steve, with the technology,
Yes.
is a little bit more challenging for me just because I'm not tech savvy.
Okay.
So I have a little more difficulty doing remote, although I can do it.
Okay.
But and I have done it. I just know that there could be an easier, more streamlined way of doing these things. But so generally in my classes, most people will take the introduction class first, where I really do a lot of hand holding. And then I have mandala kits that they can buy and
That's
just do this.
genius.
It's perfect.
That's
yeah.
genius.
And
It
do
is.
this on their own. And that's where a lot of people will leave, and I may not hear from them again, and they may be like going
Well, just give
crazy
them
at
like
home.
half a piece.
Half a kit.
So you have half a kid, so they have to come back.
Yeah, right. But surprisingly, many people just love to create in community. And I do all kinds of different themed classes. So it's not just the introduction class. So every month I'll do a themed class. Like this month, I'm doing a self-love class where we're doing mandalas with mirrors.
Ooh, that'd be
I'm
cool.
doing
Yeah.
a heart class where people do a mandala in the shape of a heart. Every month I do something a little bit special. Most of the time I do a tree of life class. I do a lot of lotus classes where people will paint lotuses. So people will come back and do different things. And then I also offer mandala mentoring. So if someone wants to work one-on-one, I have a 3-month process that I take them through, where they create a mandala that's unique, reflects them uniquely, and we go through different processes to make this mandala. It's really neat.
Yeah.
Where do you hold your classes?
My studio is in Terrafil.
I know you told me this.
Yeah.
but
Okay. Yeah.
tell-
It's in Terrafil, Connecticut, which is part of Simsbury. But a lot of what I do is I go to different facilities and to people's homes. So as long as there's like 5 participants, I'll bring everything to them.
That's great.
And then, so sometimes people will just use it as like birthday parties.
Sure.
Sometimes it'll be at an assisted living facility or a group
I was
home.
gonna say that's perfect. Or either at assisted
Yeah.
living. It's got to be really good.
Yeah,
for
I do some, I do rec departments. Sometimes it's just you want to gather your friends. So I'll do that. And then the last offering, I just recently got certified in this thing called the Mandala Assessment Research Instrument, which is called the MARI.
Oh.
And it's really cool.
I had no idea that all this went
I
on.
know.
It's a whole
I
new
know.
world for
Well,
me.
like I said, somebody had told me this years ago. I would have never believed this, but I am like, I'm so passionate about these mandalas. It's almost silly. But what this is I talked about Carl Jung a little bit, and he used them to heal himself through post-traumatic, and he used them with his patients, right? And so similar to Freud, who identified patterning in dreams and symbolic references and stuff, he did this. One of the million things Carl Jung did was he did this with mandalas. And then this woman, Joan Kellogg, came along and she developed this instrument where the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, there's like 10% above the water, and then there's this massive
Right,
iceberg
underneath,
beneath
yeah.
the surface, right? So that's supposed to symbolize consciousness above the water,
Okay.
and then unconscious beneath the surface of the water. And so she developed this tool where through doing a free-form mandala, not a symmetrical one like this, like somebody just draws whatever they feel, plus they pick shapes and colors, and we take all of that information and we use it to interpret their unconscious. It's really cool.
This is deep.
Wow.
It's really cool.
Deep.
Yeah, it's really cool. So there's a lot of interest in that, because even though it's not psychic reading or tarot card reading or something that I'm channeling, it's
Right.
more of like you give me the information and then we interpret it to see what's sort of beneath the surface. It's really fun, and I love it.
Wow.
Figuring out someone's center what's
Yeah.
the core, getting to the core problem, basically.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. I
Yeah,
feel
it
like that
is.
would be up my alley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should do it together.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, really. So, so for your kits and stuff, what is that? Do they only get the kit if they take your class? Can they just buy a kit, or how does this
Yeah,
work?
anybody who, I mean, they're for sale all the time. I
Okay.
don't have the paints included. Like someone would still have to go get the paints on their
Okay.
own because I can't
Do you,
choose the
you know,
colors
do you
for them.
like tell them I recommend this type of paint
Correct.
and that
yeah.
kind of stuff?
With the kit is an instruction on what,
Oh, okay.
what brands I use and how to finish your piece.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it has a skeleton canvas in it so that you don't have to draw all the concentric circles and all of that stuff. And then I sell the canvases themselves too. So
Oh, okay.
anybody can create this canvas with a skeleton on it, but you have to use like a compass and a protractor and a straight edge.
Who wants to go through all
And
that?
a lot of people are like, I don't want to do
it's,
it.
it's already too stressful, you know.
Yeah.
I just want to get to
For
yeah.
me, that is also with a left brain. That is something that I really enjoy doing. It.
Right,
So,
right. What do those kits cost? I mean, is there all different sizes and
Well,
prices?
the kits
or?
are $25 each.
Okay.
And then the canvases, I sell the skeleton canvases by size.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, I see.
So yeah,
So in the kit is exactly what? It's the
the dotting tools,
tools.
the skeleton, the instructions,
Okay.
and like a little paint dish and a cloth that I use to wipe the tools off with.
Oh, okay, I
Oh,
see.
cool.
Yeah.
So all the
That's really
hardware
neat.
that you would need.
Everything that you
Except
need
for the
except for the
canvas.
paint.
And
Except for
the-
the paint. No, the
The
canvas is
canvas
included.
is good.
Oh, okay, all right, I
Yeah,
see what you're saying.
canvas is included, but the paints, they just have to buy their own
Oh, okay,
paints.
I see. Now
Yeah.
I get it. Oh,
Yeah.
and that's all sold on your social. I should have closed that window. But it was so hot in here, anyways. So you can get this off your website, or
You could get it off the website, or you can just contact me, and a lot of people just come into the studio and grab them, or I can mail them to people too.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you have to give us your information so we can
Yes.
pump it out there for you.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
I'd love that.
Yeah. So I know we're kind of getting to the end of things. Is there we always ask everybody who comes on the show, is there any advice or anything that you would tell to somebody who's, either in the Mandala world with you or just as an entrepreneur in general, any advice that you would give them?
I'm a relatively new entrepreneur, so
You're doing a hell of a job
That's
already. You
right.
already sold me.
Thank you.
Just your marketing alone with it. Yeah, go ahead.
But I think what I really love to emphasize with people is the beginner's mind, and to reserve judgment, self-judgment. And then because if you have that beginner's mind, like you've never done this before, it's all new to you,
Right.
and that you're not going to be perfect at it. Like this is so about accepting imperfections, and that's just something that's really important. And even me in my business, like I have to work at trying not to be a perfectionistic or expecting things to be over here when I'm over here. you
That's the
know?
problem that I
Yeah.
have. One of the problems I have.
Yeah, and so I have to really slow myself down and just accept where it is and not judge myself. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do things, and the same thing happens in the mandalas. People mess them up all the time, and then we just love them for their unique gifts,
Right.
and so I think that would probably be my focus for just humanity, really.
Yeah.
Is
Don't
to-
be a perfectionist.
a little bit more self-love, a
Yeah,
little bit more
that's-
acceptance.
No, because sometimes that gets in your way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I know it happens to me. I'm like dwelling on this stupid thing that no one else would notice, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
your point, the stuff that you are doing is made to relax you. So take the stress off yourself before you even get into it. Because like I said, when I saw it, I was like, it's so intricate. I would be stressed, but then when I saw your video, I was like, oh, I get it now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like looking at a 10,000 piece puzzle. I'm like, this is going to take me 3 years to do, rather than me dumping out everything and just slowing down and actually doing it. But
Yeah.
that's just me. Anything else there, Kara?
No, I don't think so. Let everybody know where they can find you in person, online, all the things.
Okay, so my
Load it up.
website, my website is www.mandalamindswellness.com, and I'm also on Facebook primarily. So you can either find me personally, Amy Crose, or Mandala Minds and Wellness. I have a business page. And then I'm on Instagram, yet I'm not super great at Instagram, but I'm on there too, Mandala Minds 24. And
Cool.
it's really easy to get connected. I think I've set it up pretty well that all I have to do is type in Mandala workshops or Mandala Minds, and you can find me on Google.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know
And
what
you're
you should do though is be on TikTok.
oh gosh,
I
so much
do
TikTok.
throw some videos
Do
on
some
TikTok.
ASMR stuff though. You know,
I-
like that video you showed me.
I do. You know,
Oh, you do?
Oh,
I love music, and so like when Bob Weir died from the Grateful Dead,
Yeah.
I had done a couple of mandalas that
Hmm.
were sort of deadheadish,
Deadhead,
and
yeah.
I had
Wow.
posted them on TikTok, and they got a lot of hits.
I told you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I saw her, because like even when she showed me a short video, I was like, all right, this is one of those things you can watch. Like when I watching someone mow a lawn. You
Oh,
ever see
yeah.
those?
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
sit there
So
for half an hour
satisfying.
just watching to see how it's going to come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you did that, that'd be great for your
Yeah.
business. You know.
Yeah.
So
All right. And is your studio open to the public? Do you have studio hours?
Well, it's I'm there almost every day.
Okay.
For sure, kind of like you are at the Bristol Bazaar. But it's best to contact me
Okay.
and come in unless I have you come to a class, I'll certainly be there. And I have one thing I didn't mention, I have open paint hours for people who've already taken a class. They can come and just paint for 3 hours, like office hours, like
Yeah.
for students.
That's great.
But yeah, and then appointments and classes are generally, but anytime anyone contacts me, if they want to come see the studio, I will make an effort to be there.
Awesome.
oh, it's
So,
awesome.
Okay.
All right, I guess that's gonna wrap it up for
Yeah.
today's episode.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you. This
you.
was great. I feel like the timing was perfect considering I just had that conversation with Eric the other day about being more mindful and being more present. So now I just feel like it's just been emphasized, which was very needed and welcomed. So thank you.
And I got a lot of work to do on myself.
We all do.
Yes, we do.
We're all.
All right, you guys.
All right. I'm going to take us out of here. Thank you so much for tuning into Small Business Social. A huge thank you again to you, Amy, for being here. Truthfully,
Thank
it
you.
has been an honor to have you with us. And a special thanks to our sponsors, the Bristol Bazaar and Seymour Media, for supporting us here on the show. If you loved today's episode, be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We've got more amazing small business owners and experts coming your way. Until next time, keep supporting small and spreading big ideas. Bye, guys.